Hey guys, it's Reese. I'm going to be introducing you to my top 10 favorite romance anime. Something to keep in mind is that just because I have a ranking system doesn't mean that one anime is better than the other. So if I rank a 10 doesn't mean that an 8 is higher on my list. It just means that I wanted to put this in my top 10. So they're all basically equal except for number 1. Number 1's kind of perfect. That being said, let's go ahead and get to it. Number 10, My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu. This anime is great. It's about the time that Hikigaya Hachiman spends with a service club. It's basically like a volunteer group. Hachiman is super pragmatic and has these dead fish eyes that make no one really trust him. I love this anime simply for the dialogue. As you get to know Hiki, you find out that he isn't friendless just because he's mean or treats people badly, but simply because he's afraid of rejection. This anime probably should be higher on the list. It really does speak to people like me, for example, that are shy or have trouble communicating their feelings to others. I definitely recommend watching this one if you like high school dramas. Number 9, Golden Time. In this anime, Tada Banri moves to Tokyo to join the law school, trying to find a new life after a fall from a bridge causes him to lose all of his high school memories. He meets the beautiful Kaga Koko, who beats a friend he just made with a bouquet of flowers. Kaga had followed Mitsuo, his new friend, to the law school based on a childhood promise they made to marry one another. Over time, Banri begins to fall in love with Koko, but also has to cope with memories from his childhood as they start to surface, and he starts questioning who he really is. This anime is great, for one, because it's set in college, which strays a bit from the conventional high school romances. Number 8, Maid-sama. Maid-sama is about Miyazaki Aizawa. She's a student council president at Saika High. The only problem with being a female president at this school? It used to be an all-boys school, resulting in a very low percentage of girls to boys. She sees this as a disadvantage for the females and tries to improve the school by taking almost everything on her shoulders. Things get really interesting when Usui Takami, a popular boy at the school, finds out that she works part-time at a maid cafe. Number 7, From Me to You. Sawako Kuronoma is the main character in this one. She's super shy, very honest and caring. She has this kind of sap tendency to scare her classmates because of her reserved nature, and her name is often confused with Sadako, a horror film character. That all changes though when she meets Kazuhaya Shota. He's a very popular boy and is very friendly and outgoing, basically the opposite of Sawako. One day when they meet, Kazuhaya treats her like a friend and ends up being able to see her as the kind and caring person she is. This is a great school life romance, and you should watch it if you haven't already.
I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left.
Number 6, The World is Still Beautiful. This anime is about Nike Rimuru, the 4th princess of the Rain Dukedom. She's told she's going to marry the Sun King Livius, a terrifying tyrant that's conquered the entire world in just 3 years from his coronation. The animation is a tad dated, and it's a rather short anime, but don't let that dissuade you. The story is really cute, and you can really just end up falling in love with Nike as the main character in this story. Number 5, Toradora. Where do I start with this one? Toradora tells the story of Yuji Takasu. He's a second-year high school student who sadly has the eyes that make him look like a delinquent. It's kind of Classic anime thing. But he one day runs into the diminutive Taika Aisaka, like literally runs into her, and she smacks the bejesus out of him. Obviously, not the most promising start to a friendship, and it only gets more complicated when he finds out that Minori, the girl he's crushing on, is actually Taika's best friend. I can't really tell you why I love this show so much. It's a lot of fun, and it's definitely worth the ride.
And on we'll
Number 4, Waiting in the Summer. Waiting in the Summer is directed by Nagai Tatsuyuki, who also happened to direct Anohana and Toradora as well. This anime follows Kirishima Kaito, a wannabe videographer who is wanting to film a video with his high school friends before their time together ends. Throw in the arrival of Tatsuki Ichika, a beautiful young girl that just so happens to be an alien that got stranded on Earth, and you have the beginnings of a great rom-com. I recommend this anime for its lightheartedness and also for its deep character interactions.
till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go.
Number 3, Anohana and the Flower That We Saw That Day. Anohana is different from most of the other shows on this list in the fact that the romance doesn't revolve around a current romance. I can't really go into too many details without ruining the main plot. However, it mostly revolves around the main character, Jinta Yadami, and his friends who have slowly drifted away from each other. Throughout the show, you learn that none of the friends really changed all that much, and that they have still these incredibly strong ties to the main female protagonist, Menma. This show is a real tearjerker, and it really nails the whole drama romance perfectly. The romance elements are secondary to the story, but if you're someone that likes emotional dramas, this one is a must-see.
If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, won't you let the light shine through?
Number 2, The Pet Girl of Sakura-so. This story follows Sorata Kaneda and his dorm mates living in Sakura Hall. Sakura Hall is where all the trouble students get sent, and it just so happens that leads him to meet Shina Mashiro. Mashiro is a talented painter who wants to become a mangaka. What is endearing about this show to me is how you see the characters challenge themselves to become better, and over time they learn so much, not from their successes, but also their failures. It's very heartwarming, and I recommend it for its abundance of cute moments, as well as for great character development. And coming in at number 1 is Your Lie in April. This anime is about Arima Kosei, a prodigy piano player whose mother died, leaving him unable to play the piano and living in this monochrome world without any color. That is until he meets Kaori, a free-spirited violinist who changes his entire world in a blink of an eye. She convinces Kosei to play the piano again, and the story follows their friendship as they begin to perform together. Your Lie in April is hands down one of my favorite shows of all time simply because of its quality. Most anime have certain things that stick out about them, the animation being gorgeous, the character development is great or has a great ending, but that's not the case with Your Lie in April. Everything about this show is practically perfect. I may be slightly biased as I'm a musician and a violinist, but anyone that watches this show agrees that almost every level of this show works.